Hey, I'm Betsy Dillard Stroud, and today I'm going to give you a short lesson in stamp carving. In my hand is a Speedball Speedy Cut stamp. I love it because it's soft on both sides, it's pliable, and I can carve my wonderful symbolism and bam! Just like Emerald Lagasse, I can stamp them into my paintings. Stamping has been an important part of my work for a long time. Now, to get started, you're going to need a stamp, of course, but you're also going to need a linoleum carver. Please, under no circumstances, try to carve this with a knife or an X-Acto blade. It can be extremely dangerous. And always carve away from your hand. For example, let's do a circle. I would take the carver, and instead of trying to make the circle with the carver, just turn the stamp around. See how I'm doing that? Careful to keep my hand out of the way. I've got a few scars, so I've had a lot of experience in carving stamps. Your own personal symbolism is very important when you're an artist, and this stamp carving has been important in my work because I can put whatever symbols that are relevant to me at that particular time on the stamp. This circle has a little tail. We'll call it a comet. But the important thing also is to get a good design. If you're a little bit leery about carving from scratch, you can always just draw the design that you choose on your stamp. Now, I'm digging pretty deeply because I want my stamp to last, and I want my stamp to make a good imprint. As you can see, this is a pretty thick line. Remember several things about stamping. First of all, everything you stamp is going to come out backwards. So, for example, if you wanted to use a letter like B, I'll just put a B on there. You would have to carve it backwards. And then it will look like a B. Get your hand out of the way, Betsy. We don't want any blood on this video. No. Okay. And then you can just pull up the extra things. Now, the other thing you want to remember, I should finish my B. The other thing you want to remember is that everything that you carve out is going to show up, and the things that you don't carve out, that's what the paint is going to be on. So this is going to show up as a line, so to speak, and then this is going to show up as a shape. That's a really important part of stamp carving. Now, I'm just going to make a design very quickly. And I like geometric designs because I do a lot of abstract painting, and geometric designs fit really well into my work. But as I said, you can do organic things. I've carved many flowers, trees, etc. So you can see I'm carving very deep. And I'm even going to carve the edge and just make it uneven. I like uneven things, and I like things that are done spontaneously. Sometimes you can get a wonderful design just doing something spontaneously. So let me just, now make sure this is tight. You don't want this to fall off. So here we go again, and I'm going to make a little square here, and then maybe I'll make another shape inside the square. A square inside a square. Maybe a little tiny circle inside the square. And again, I'm going to turn the stamp, making sure that my hand does not get in the way. Now, I started stamping because of a dream I had. And in the dream, a beautiful carved image appeared before me. And it started talking to me. And I said, for goodness sakes, could you talk? Could you speak English? I don't understand carved language, icon language. Anyway, it took me about 2 years to figure out that I had to carve that image. The image was so powerful that I drew it when I woke up. But it took me quite a while to come to stamping. And that is the way that I get so much symbolism into my paintings. You can see behind me, there's stamping in almost all of them. Well, hi, Tabby T. Tabby T likes to paint. Yes, she does. Stamping in that painting, you can see the stamping in this painting and stamping in that painting. Now I'm just going to carve a little bit more and then I'm going to paint it. I'm going to use watercolor, but you can use acrylics, you can use gouache, you can use the medium of your choice. Okay, I'm just going to put a little bit more design on this. And we'll just paint it and see what it looks like. I'm going to use these beautiful Daniel Smith watercolors, quinacridone violet, mixed maybe, or with a little bit of quinacridone gold. Now, third point about stamp making, make sure you use very thick paint, especially when using watercolor, because we're working with linoleum, and if you put just a wash on, it will just come right off. Alright, so I'm painting the stamp, and of course you could use ink, printer's ink on this too, but basically I'm a water media painter and I love to use paint, either acrylic or watercolor. Putting a little deep gold in to mix this in with the violet. It's not mixing very much. You can't see it because the violet's so dark, but we'll see what this stamp looks like. You want to really just go for it. So I'm placing the stamp down, pushing hard, and then I'm lifting it up. And you can see a pretty neat image. You can see how it would be a good image for clothes, painting clothes, for draperies, just in an abstract way to use it. I also like to print a second time because very often the ghost, it's called, the second time you print can be even more interesting than the first. I hope that you will try stamping. I guarantee that you won't be able to stop until you've done about 10 paintings. This is Betsy Dillard Stroud wishing you many happy adventures in stamp carving. Bye for now.